Good evening. Uh, Myself Kishore from Information Media. Uh, as you know that the international conference for different languages and subjects are going on from 18 March to 29 March. And this is the largest edition of this conference about the Sanskrit section. And we are lucky. I feel I am also lucky that I made a person actually who is sitting with me twice. Uh, I am welcoming Reverend Dr. Wadingala Pannaloka Thero from Srilanka. Sir, welcome you, sir. And with me, Ankita is there.
Hello.
And she will just conduct the interview.
Yes. Sir, give us a brief introduction about yourself.
Nice, thank you. I am Venerable Wadingala Pannaloka. I am from the University of Kelaniya, and I am serving at the moment as the head of the department of Buddhist thought at the Postgraduate Institute of Kelaniya, belonging to University of Kelaniya in Sri Lanka. My teaching areas are mainly early Buddhism and Chinese Buddhism, and also Buddhist ethics.
Sir, importance and value of Sanskrit in today's era. What do you feel about that?
That's a very good question, because one thing is we consider Sanskrit as a dead language. Some people, there are dead languages in the world. Sanskrit is one of them. The thing is that whether dead or alive is not a matter, but what this language has offered to our life is the important question. I think that today's life, we know that we are all astonished with the unprecedented scientific and technological advancement we are experiencing today. At the same time, in this context, we have to see how Sanskrit would be useful for us. It means that this is a movement. Of course, there is development and so many sophisticated items in front of us available at hand. At this facility itself, we can observe in the society sometimes turning out to be disasters for us. For example, nowadays, if you check the internet, you can see a lot of addictions, gaming addictions, internet addictions, and substance addictions, etc. So many things, but I focus on the internet addiction, which is a kind of new phenomenon we are experiencing in more advanced societies. I think we consider that I also use the internet to the maximum benefit. At the same time, as it has some potential to get us addicted, so then I think we have to focus on how to solve, how to get away from addiction, and but still use the internet, for example. So then I think in our Sanskrit language, Sanskrit is a vast literature. One part of Sanskrit literature is Buddhism. So I am from the Buddhist background as a Buddhist monk. So if I take the teachings from Sanskrit and Sanskrit Buddhism asks us to guard our senses. Guard our senses does not mean that we keep our eyes closed and ears covered and not touch anything, but we should know the limit. In Buddha's word, middle path is important in whatever thing we are going to do. So Madhyama Pratipad, in Sanskrit we call Madhyama Pratipad. When we use something, we have to use to the middle. It means we are not totally denying it, we are not totally getting addicted or enamored by it. So we have to stay in the middle, and we have to get the maximum benefit out of it for the well-being of myself, which means healthy mind, healthy body, and advanced thinking, and should be the case for others too. That is the message I think that I can get from Sanskrit and I can share with you.
Thank you, sir. So one more question. How did you feel after visiting this university and Korabut?
Oh, that's wonderful.
I think sir, it's the second time.
This is my second time because first time was so good, I am here.
Okay.
So that concludes, I think. Huh?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, that's it. Means hospitality and environment is beautiful. I like, and even though I have to travel from Visakhapatnam to Koraput, I was observing the both side of the road, mountains, lakes, and natural sceneries are there. So I love to travel here.
Loved it. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
So one more question is that we just love yoga. India is produce yoga that is all accepted by our world. My question is here: how the Sanskrit language will be beneficial for, let's say, the spiritual life and a healthy life?
Okay, for the spiritual life, I can talk because I'm not a yoga teacher. But in Sanskrit, as I mentioned, there are many traditions. Yoga is one. So Buddhist tradition is another. Even Jaina tradition is there. So all these traditions are discoveries by human beings. And okay, if it is in the Indian context and Indian tradition, so whatever we touch, either it is Jainism or Buddhism or yoga, Patanjali yoga, etc. I think all of these things are beneficial. They were solutions to human problems, or we call human predicament, which is what much deeper aspect of human life. So all these philosophies address the core of human problem. So we can learn from these traditions and we can solve. We can see even at the moment there are people learn these things, put into practice, and as the Buddha said, Sanditthiko Akaliko. These teachings are here and now, and it does not take much time to get benefit. At the moment itself, we can experience the benefits.
Sir, yes, you are from Sri Lanka. What is the current scenario for Sanskrit language? The love, the affection, how
Sanskrit
is growing in Sri Lanka?
Sanskrit, I can't say growing, because in Sri Lanka it is part and parcel of Sri Lankan life.
Right.
Since ancient times, Sanskrit was a part of our education. So there's no change for that. In the universities, there are departments, and there are Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a one stream of medicine. Different universities are there, so they must study Sanskrit. So then, when we make new terminology for new scientific discoveries and technological tools, etc., actually we go for Sanskrit terms and we take Sanskrit word.